أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan, and I begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I send prayers and praises upon the one worthy of everlasting prayers and praises, Muhammad, final messenger, and upon all of his progeny and all of his companions until the end of time. Dear fellow citizens of the Shahada, the twin declaration of faith, I greet you with the greeting of peace, which is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I greet you with peace and blessings, mercy of the Creator upon you all, and to proceed. Iblisis have disrupted and confused our people. Have we forgotten where the Quran came from? Its source, its purpose, our source and our purpose. Its message is our message. Its wonders. Have we pondered over them? Fellow patriots of the Shahada in its declaration of Quranic Revolution 2021, do we truly have a reason for accepting and embracing, belittling the Quran with pride, greed, and jealousy? Yes, ICVA President Adiola was guilty of character assassination with the intent of taking more admiration for his lack of understanding, despite being an official member of ICVA and, as required, a millionaire at that. He continued on for an unspecified time with fabrications, narratives of that imposition with the ignorant Iblisi allied by lies and deception. Calling to oneself was the aim, and gaining more self-recognition was the purpose. It was driven by selfishness, defying with arrogance, ignorance, and persistency that in which undermined our beloved members of the Quranic Revolution. This is similar to those who mock and insult rules, standards, regulations, boundaries, and limitations specified by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, exemplified by the messengers of truth who have come to us prior to today. My fellow respectable citizens and children of the Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and those who seek the truth in that in which the originator has destined for us. It is the model of Iblisi, as we have mentioned in subsequent footage, the perception, the ideology, manners, traits, and competencies of worldly and purely worldly gains, which are short-lived. Admiration, self-recognition, pride, defying the very basic of the twin declaration of faith, bearing witness to Allah Jalla Jalaluhu alone. Instead, this model increases pride and fabrication, and unfortunately, all enemies and rebels of the limitations specified in the Quran must come to the realization that is Jalla Jalaluhu's decree. The Quranic Revolutionary Declaration leaves no doubt that the rebellious in intent, word, deed, and spirit happens to be that in which is purely Iblisi, it is also unacceptable and unbecoming of all fellow citizens of the Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Furthermore, it warrants the call to expose and discredit such Iblisi positions, no matter where they are, no matter where they may be. In conclusion, Jalla Jalaluhu's course states that those who reject will never accept those bearers of peace till it's abandoned. As ICVA, Iblisi, TMOA, Iblisis alike, the Zionist ideology is one in the same. Purely Iblisis motivate, drive, and are a thorn to the noble and righteous cause and to that in which is the Sirat al-Mustaqim, a path of divine success in this life as well as in the hereafter. We want to make number 3 of the referendum of the Quranic Declaration of 2021 with its clear abrogations of 2022 to state and to be implemented immediately. A is that any who find one of the ayahs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know for a fact that this is the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the miracle of the Quran, therefore embraces it and lives upon it, is upon that in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for us. We are with them and they are with us, and any who have done otherwise or feel that they must do otherwise with pure intent, then let them realize that they are not with us and we are not with them. And as long as one remains pleasing and pleasuring other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the deeds, the words, the intent is definitely declared as being dissolved in the scale of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Realize that Jalla Jalaluhu has sent the perfect message. He has completed it already through the tongue of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Peace and blessings be upon him. Therefore, any who reject such, any who undermine it, any who feel that they can remain sinful in the aspect of how the Quran itself is being treated, let them realize that they have also been cursed by the same tongue through the means of Jalla Jalaluhu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stated that they are the maghdubi, they are cursed, and they are the dallin, they are the misguided ones, and that definitely was through the tongue of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I want to make the positions of the Allied Coalition spiritual, mystical, intellectual forces alike. We must make sure that there is no doubt in our ranks that we are here for the truth, the entire truth, and nothing but the truth. We also want to make no mistakes, errors, and carelessness to where we are seen to be other than a professional force, a civil force, and one that is noble and divine in all aspects in which those who aided and assisted the Prophets alayhimus salatu wassalam from Muhammad till the end of time, from Adam to Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam alike. My fellow citizens and respected elders, members, coalition partners of the Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. In the case of Gaza, we have dispatched our spiritual and mystical divisions. They have notified us of all of the progress pertaining to the humanitarian as well as the social and military alike. Our partners in the area have confirmed to us, indeed, Jalla Jalaluhu's Core has released clear footage of the oppressed overcoming their oppressors. C. Jalla Jalaluhu's Core also states that if the IDF do not remove all forces from the borders of Gaza within the reasonable time given, they will not return to their homes alive. It is very important that we respect the humanitarian release on all sides. Hamas release all hostages. Israel, return to your homes and refortify yourselves and take from the African League or the OAU. Instead of them invading Niger, they discussed it among themselves and reframed. You have thus far IDF bombed over the capacity in which the United States of America itself was able to do in the first year of Afghanistan. And Afghanistan is much larger than Gaza. Another situation or another reference which you may take from is that the fact of the matter is simply the Gazans are not Hamas and Hamas is not Gaza. You are inflicting an entire punishment on an entire population. I also want to make very clear that we reject any type of defensive mechanism which will commit war crimes and atrocities upon another. My fellow siblings in the Shahada and those who we share the boundaries and the borders of the entire world. Realize that the way to peace is not through war, but it is through the means of peace itself. I do want to make very clear that we are not taking sides on behalf of any who murder unjustly, any who deal with citizens as they should be dealing with those whom Jalla Jalaluhu has stated to be citizens in other than such. We do find that to be a clear violation of the Quranic decree. We also want to make abundantly clear that every country that has an ambassador to the Zionist state of Israel, as is known to be the capital of Tel Aviv today, we're not referring to Judaism in Jerusalem, but we're referring to Zionism in Tel Aviv.